Выезжает вперед Кастер.
Hello and welcome to week number 8 here at the WGL APAC Season 1. It's our last week here, Alex.
Last week.
Well, you were away for a couple of days last week, or it was just one, but it's good to have you back.
Yes, great to be back, of course. We've gotten over a little cold that I had last week and ready to get back into the top-tier tanking action that I'm sure awaits us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a few important matches coming out today. Obviously, nothing's really set in stone, so all these teams, well, maybe apart from EL Gaming staying at number 1, all these teams really have something to play for, that's for sure.
Definitely, of course. Season finals coming up. Top 2 get auto-qualified. And, well, 4 through 6, and they have to face it off in the playoffs, 3 through 6.
Before we get too far into that, though, let's go ahead and have a look at last week and how that turned out.
It's back to business for the teams in the APAC region, as after a short break for the Tokyo Game Show, everything can carry on now. So let's look at week 7 in that region. As expected, EL Gaming won all 3 of their matches, defeating the Coalition 5-2, and then Karen Tigers and Horsemen 5-0. Meltdown were able to maintain their challenge for second place as they defeated Team Efficiency 5-1 and then Dark Wolves 5-3. B Gaming were also able to pick up 2 wins as they defeated Dark Wolves 5-3 and then defeated both Coalition and Team Efficiency 5-0. Let's now take a look at the standings for the APAC region after week 7. EL Gaming are safely through to the regional finals as they are now 11 points clear of their nearest rivals. Meltdown, B Gaming, Team Efficiency and Karen Tigers are all still in contention for second place. The 2 relegation spots are also not decided as there's only 8 points difference between 8th place and 4th place. Week 8 for the APAC region still has many potential outcomes, so it's vital that every team plays their best.
Yeah, look, so exciting now that we've got just this 1 week to go, but so many things can still shift here. I mean, to be honest, I don't really expect to see Meltdown falling out of that second position, but in saying that, you know, they have been having a bit of a spotty run of form lately, so maybe there is something in it for some of these other teams to maybe climb up that ladder and take that position away from them.
Yeah, potentially. Look, I think it's going to be really interesting this week, Jordan. Of course, you know, like you said, Meltdown probably in the second spot, but, you know, we can't rule anything out. Of course, we've still got 2 days of play, you know, where all these teams are going to be facing each other, and it should be good to see who comes out at the end of it, because that second place spot, that second place guaranteed spot in the finals, that's what everyone is going to be playing for.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention those 2 bottom places, they're still not decided either. So obviously, you know, even those 2 bottom teams, I think it was Coalition Zoo and Horsemen at the moment, maybe, or Dark Wolves.
Dark Wolves
and Coalition Zoo. You know, they still aren't really out of this just yet.
No, exactly. So it will be interesting to see if they can come back into it. I think it's going to be a tough ask for the Coalition and, of course, Dark Wolves, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, throughout this week so far, we've already had a couple of days of play. So let's have a look and see how those turned out. EL Gaming going once again up against B Gaming.
I tell you what,
to a 5-4.
That match was absolutely crazy, and for anyone that wants to go ahead and watch the replays of it, they're over on whatreplays.com, but there was kind of 4, 5, even I think 10-minute games in that series. It was a cracker, and of course EL Gaming just coming through in the end, but B Gaming, they seem to be EL's kryptonite.
Yeah, and I think in that match, B Gaming actually took the first round off EL Gaming on Himmelsdorf. So a little bit of an interesting stat for you there. But the rest of the rest of the matches throughout this week, Karen Tiger going down to Team Efficiency. A little bit surprised by that one, or at least in the fashion that has happened. I thought that might be a little bit closer. Coalition Zoo going down to Meltdown. That's not too surprising.
It's not too surprising, but the 4-5 is a little bit, I think. So will be interesting to see if Meltdown can kind of come back from that, because I think that's a little bit unexpected. Horsemen taking out Dark Wolves, I mean, expect them to do that. A little bit unfortunate for Dark Wolves, of course, because now they're sitting kind of almost on the bottom of the ladder. But, well, win some, you lose some. Yeah,
definitely some, you know, some expected results, but maybe the fashion in which they turned out perhaps not too... well, not too expected, to be honest, because there's definitely still a lot shifting around the place at the moment. And like I said previously, I mean, Meltdown there going 5-4 with the Coalition Zoo. If they want to keep that second spot, they can't be affording to, you know, go 5-4 with a team like Coalition Zoo, who currently is sitting in number 7.
No, you're right, exactly. So it was really weird to see that result there, that Meltdown, got taken to a tiebreaker, and of course, means it's harder for them to secure their spot. They still really have to play over these next 2 days, really have to get those wins in, and make sure they're not kind of usurped in that second place spot. But I suppose we will be taking a look at how they can play today and whether they can kind of improve their form after yesterday. But let's go ahead and take a look at the standings, I think, first, to see where they sit on the ladder.
Yeah, well, Meltdown number 2 at the moment there, and actually Coalition Zoo is currently in 8th position, so I guess that's even a worse picture for Meltdown. But to be fair, across the board, it's looking like Meltdown, B Gaming, Karen Tiger, Team Efficiency, they can all still take that second position, so still a lot to play for here. And Horseman, Dark Wolves, Coalition Zoo, they're going to be trying to, I guess, well, those three would be the ones that you expect at the moment would be jostling it out for probably that 6th position.
Yeah, exactly. So that 6th position definitely covered, because, of course, for those that don't know, 7 and 8 do not get a chance to go to our season finals here in APAC. So definitely going to be looking to get those 3 to 6 those position 3 to 6 teams kind of secured. And Dark Wolves, I mean, look, it's going to be hard for them to overtake Horsemen with the way that they've kind of been playing recently. That loss yesterday, of course, but we'll just have to wait and see whether they can pull something out of their hat, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, you can argue as well that 3rd position as well is quite an important one, because that would put you up against number 6 on the ladder, which in this case is Horseman, who's definitely a much easier opponent than someone like, say, B Gaming, Karen Tiger, Team Efficiency.
Well, you're exactly right there, Jordan. So, of course, our playoffs are on Sunday next week. So that's when those teams in positions 3 till 6 are going to be battling it out for those last 2 remaining spots for our Season 1 finals here in APAC. And, well, we'll find out at the end of this weekend who those top 3 to 6 spots will be, Jordan.
Yeah, well, we already know that EL Gaming is, of course, qualified through to the finals, but we're going to be finding out how they go today up against Team Efficiency in our first match of today. Of course, there's quite a lot more going on, though, apart from just that. Meltdown going up against B Gaming in our second match.
Absolutely one to look out for, because after Meltdown's performance earlier this week, going up against B Gaming, the powerhouses, who, of course, they're on fire this week as well. They've taken, EL Gaming to a 5-4 tiebreaker. So that match is definitely going to be the one to watch. First up, it'll be interesting to see if TE can take off any games from EL Gaming. I think their best case realistic scenario would maybe be getting it to a tiebreak, but I think that's stretching it a little bit.
No. Look, to be honest, I don't know how that one's going to go really well. We, of course, don't know, but I suspect it's going to go probably the way of EL Gaming, 5-1, something like that.
Yep.
But like you said, if they can get to a tiebreaker, that's going to be a fantastic result for them. Just to get that 1 point, really important for them at the moment. But later on tonight, of course, as well, we've got Dark Wolves, Karen Tiger coming up, our 3rd match of today, and the final match is going to be Horseman and Coalition Zoo. So
Horseman
generally,
and
that's going to be another one.
That's going to be another one to look out for, because TCZ, they really need those points. So we've got a lot of really important matches today, I think, Jordan. So yeah, it will be good to see who pans out on top.
But our first match today, Team Efficiency up against EL Gaming. We sort of spoke about that just a little bit there. But to go into a little bit more depth, currently EL Gaming obviously haven't lost a single match so far throughout our competition. They have been taken to a tiebreaker a couple of times by B Gaming, but definitely still looking like very much the favoured team for this matchup.
Yes, definitely. And of course, on the EL Gaming side, we've always got to keep a lookout, well, generally for their entire team, but of course for a few players. Fox TS, their captain, he's one to look out for, as well as, of course, Guan Ren. We see Guan Ren making some big plays, and Nice, of course, as well. So, it is a team of champions there, EL Gaming, and I think they're not going to disappoint us today.
No, I suspect not. I think really the best chance maybe for Team Efficiency is if they can get onto Mines. We again saw EL Gaming faltering on Mines against B Gaming earlier this week. So, it does seem like EL Gaming really are not the best of Mines teams. It really does seem like their weak map out of the entire pool. So I'd say the best chance for Team Efficiency, if they can get EL Gaming onto Mines, maybe they can pick up 1 or 2 rounds. But even then, it still feels like Team Efficiency are going to struggle.
I think so as well. So, well, we'll have to wait and see. My prediction here for this one, I think it is actually going to be, unfortunately, a 5-0 match here, Jordan. What about you?
Well, if I have a look across at the map pool, which unfortunately doesn't include Mines, I'm probably going to be leaning towards that direction, but I'll give Team Efficiency 1 round here, I think.
Okay. Being generous, I suppose.
Yeah, probably a little bit. But team efficiency, as we know, they are, the kind of team that if they can get their role going on, then they're definitely
absolutely.
a strong team. So we'll have to see how they turn out today. We have seen them at times really looking very strong here, and maybe if they've been counter-strating EL super hard, something like that, they might maybe be able to pull off an extreme upset. But definitely, I think it's going to be, of course, a very difficult ask here. Really, B Gaming is the only team that has been able to challenge EL consistently.
Yep.
And even then, they haven't actually picked up a win. So
yeah, very, very tricky. But of course, on the team efficiency lineup, we've definitely got to look out for a few of our favourites. We love Party, we love Safi. Of course, two of the solid players, and we also have team efficiency. They've gotten in a new player as well recently. So Bohan, who's a heavy tank player predominantly, but he's also going to be one to look out for today as we kind of see them continuing to adapt to that new addition.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I mean, I don't think Bohan had the greatest of tournaments last week. He sort of had a bit of a quiet entry, but we'll have to see how it does shape up in general here for team efficiency, who, their performances of late have been sort of up and down, it feels like to me.
Yeah.
They've gone win-loss, win-loss, win.
Yeah,
sort of,
and honestly, that is sort of how you expect team efficiency to perform. That they have never really been a consistent team in either the Gold Series or any other tournament that they participate in. But the good thing about that is that it means you can't really predict how they're going to do. They might just be on fire one day and be able to show up to a team like EL Gaming.
Yeah, definitely. But let's have a look and find out whether or not that's going to be the case here. Looks like we're going to be getting ready to go underway with our first map of today.
Oh, there we go. We've got Cliff. I love it. Okay, so
Team efficiency's pick, by the way.
Team efficiency's pick. Very, very interesting that they're picking Cliff against EL Gaming. Of course, so far, Team Efficiency have only played Cliff 3 times, Jordan, and they do have a 73% win rate on it. So
Yeah, look, it's actually not a bad map, I don't think, for Team Efficiency. And to be fair, when you're playing up against EL, you can't really pick their weak maps. Unless Mines is in the pool, across the board, EL Gaming look really strong on almost every single map here in the pool. So I like this pick from Team Efficiency. They're quite good on it. As you say, they've played it a reasonable amount, and going up against EL Gaming here, it's definitely their best map. So to see them pick this one, I'm liking this pick from Team Efficiency. But in saying all of that, I still think Cliff is going to go the way of EL Gaming 2-0.
Still think 2-0?
Yep.
Well, look, I called 5-0, so I've got to go EL 2-0 as well. But let's take a look at where they are rolling out to. Interestingly enough, EL Gaming have sent Nice in that RU251 down to scout out that 2-line. The rest of their force heading towards the center of the map. It's looking like EL Gaming are going to be going towards the exact same spot, so we might be seeing some early breakouts here as EL get up on the hill.
So many times we've seen the fight start out like this here for both of these teams, but generally speaking, EL Gaming has always been the ones that have looked good in these Wolfpack sort of brawls that start off very early in those bat chats. And at the moment, you can already see they've got that very early advantage. Lots of damage going over to Team Efficiency, and Team Efficiency really only being able to do 1 or 2 shots into EL Gaming's tank. So for now, we'll have to see what Moore can do in that bat chat. He'll have to come up pretty big here for Team Efficiency, but at the moment, he is being focused down by Black's Fox DS and Guan Ren. He is alive, and he's got actually a fair amount of his shells off. Although, in saying that, EL Gaming, they do have the tank advantage, and they're looking strong in this one.
Well, they're looking strong. Team Efficiency, though, they still do have 3 tanks up. So, they have got a lot of damage on the field. They might not soon, though, because JP Xerxes is going down. We've got Nice just coming into the fray as well. And even though EL Gaming have 4 up, Nice, he's only in an RU251.
Yeah, Dexter now being chased here by Sunmi, who appears to be on the reload for now. Black probably needs to be careful with his HP at the moment. Dexter's trying to chase him down by the looks of things. Nice is just really being a pain in the butt for JP Xerxes at the moment. And I guess that's the trouble with having RU251 driving around as well. Like, I mean, he can just keep firing while all of these auto-loaders are on the reload. And Nice should actually pick this one up, which he does. And now it's 2 versus 3 here. Still a possibility for Team Efficiency, but I don't think the reloads are favorable for them. Dexter currently on the reload, and Bolognese at the moment, he's under a bit of pressure from a couple of members. So Sunmi and Dexter now, both of them are actually on the reload. Yeah,
I mean, tricky though, because Flag and Nice, they're both 1 shell away from death, and Flag's actually just missed that one. That could be very costly. Bolognese is still alive, should be able to get this next shot into Flag, but he doesn't have the ammo, and Nice is going to take him out. Look, that was a very fair effort there from Team Efficiency.
I think so.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't complain about that, but EL Gaming taking it out in the end.
I think, to be honest, I mean, I felt like the RU251 there for EL Gaming was doing a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose that's what happens when the RU251 just comes in right at the end, right after all of those batch chats have emptied their clips.
Yep.
They're on the reload for 40 or so seconds, and they just can't do anything for that period of time. So it was a great bit of play there by that EL Gaming RU251, and I think it's probably pretty high up on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree. I mean, across the board, it was pretty much just your standard cliff game, everyone getting into that early brawl, and generally speaking, when we see those kinds of fights come out, it really does favour EL Gaming, and considering the start that they had, that very first initial exchange of fire, where EL Gaming got maybe 4 or 5 shells off into Team Efficiency, and Efficiency really was only able to get 1 back across to their opponents. From that point on, it really felt like EL Gaming was going to take that map.
I think so. So, well, EL Gaming taking out Cliff 1-0 so far. Still got the second half to play, of course. But, well, would you change anything in the lineups, I suppose? That was one thing. Obviously, Cliff is generally a map where we see just all bat chats. Maybe that TVP.
Yeah, we saw a TVP for Team Efficiency there. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't really make an argument for taking away the TVP there because I don't think the TVP had a negative impact or a positive impact. It was just sort of meh. Maybe I think you could take a T49, something like that, just to keep yourself with an extra bit of DPM going across when the bat chats are all on the reload and the TVP's on the reload.
I like the T49 for that reason. It can really make a big early impact. Can let you get that alpha down before one of those tanks has even fired a shot if you coordinate it properly. So
yeah, exactly. Let's have a look at the replays here. But I mean, going back to that point, I think that the T49 maybe something that the Team Efficiency actually need as well.
Well, potentially.
Because I don't feel like they're going to beat EL Gaming just by playing standard.
Yeah.
They need to get that T49, not necessarily the T49, but something sort of maybe a bit lucky to get an early advantage on. Because, you can see just the way that EL Gaming here slowly but surely gained the advantages. I think EL, they're not going to be beaten by regular standard play by Team Efficiency. The mechanics are just too good.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously at the end there, we do see Sunmi basically on full HP and the other two EL Gaming members still up. But I feel as though maybe Team Efficiency, like if it was switched there, if they're on the defense now, they pick the same lineup, it could, often come down to RNG, which leads to 1 or 2 tank deaths, whether a shot goes the right way or whether it just, hits the wrong bit of armor potentially. So that can always help as well. I think it is going to come down to, whether Team Efficiency can stay kind of focused in this and maintain their composure, because often we do see them, after a loss, just really cartwheeling off. But on the post-battle stats here, we can see that Polonaise from Team Efficiency was actually on top.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, I guess, and all, but when you have 5 other EL Gaming members on the top 7, then definitely you can see where the swing has come from in the favour of EL Gaming. So Sunmi, Flag, Guanren, Black, all putting up pretty good damage numbers. Even Quiet, 1600, that's not too bad. Across the board, it's looking pretty good for EL Gaming. The RU251 with 1450 or so damage, that's pretty acceptable, or even maybe above average, I suppose, for an RU251.
Yeah, well, exactly. 1,500 damage in a tier 8. Can't complain about that. A little bit disappointing.
Too, by the way.
Well, 3 kills. There you go. It was a little bit disappointing to see Dexter and Skell down there in those tier 9 bat chats, because of course we know from experience that those tier 9 bat chats can deal a lot of damage if they stay on the field for long enough. But of course that's the issue when you're playing against EL Gaming. EL aren't going to let those bat chats, stay on the field for I think the 15 or so seconds that they take to unload their entire clip. They're going to focus fire them down. They're going to primary the TVP, and take the high damage threats off the field as quick as they can.
Yep, look, overall, what I'd like to see from Team Efficiency is just a tier 8. RU251, T49.
Yeah.
Probably not a 1390, something like that, because I just want to see that little bit of consistent damage coming out as well, just apart from all the auto-loaders.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, I could definitely see that. Unfortunately, I don't think Team Efficiency picked the T49 too much,
No,
but
I
I suppose
so.
we're about to see.
Let's have a look and see how the tank picks are going to be rolling out here for the second half, and there is a T49.
Well, as I say that, there you go. They've gone ahead and picked that T49.
I think Skell, I mean, maybe he occasionally plays it. I'm trying to think. fairly certain we have seen him play the T49 before.
Probably, yeah, once or twice maybe, or kind of infrequently. But yeah, there we go, T49 on that team efficiency lineup, and I mean it's going into the perfect. Tank lineup, because all of those batch heads that RU251 as well, they just have paper armor.
Yep.
You know, and that T49 will just go straight through any of them with that big 122mm cannon, firing those premium HE rounds.
It's good to see Skell back here for team efficiency as well. Wasn't available to play last week, but now they've got their full roster back. And he's, of course, a big component of their roster. I think that might have been why maybe we saw them having some spotty results last week. This time, though, of course, going up against EL, life is going to be difficult, though. Fox TS, he is getting absolutely wrecked. This is exactly what Team Efficiency need to do. Get that initial pick. Now, that's a huge amount of damage off the board here for EL Gaming, and Efficiency have a real opportunity to close this one out. The second kill goes the way of Team Efficiency as well, and now, really, EL Gaming are left struggling. The T49 trying to get involved here for Efficiency. There is a bit of a swing back as we see EL trading a couple of kills, but still a player advantage for EL Gaming, or Team Efficiency rather.
Yeah, and I think Skell there, he might have missed his shot, because I can see that Nice, oh no, there we go, Nice finally takes about 450 damage or so, but I don't think, nope, that second one doesn't penetrate.
That's a good block though from Bolognese. Now Skell's going to survive, and the RU251 not able to pick up that kill. Moore in the meanwhile has found Black, and Nice, he's going to be really disappointed not to be able to find Skell here, because Skell is still a big damage threat here for Team Efficiency, who currently actually have a HP disadvantage despite having an extra tank on the field. So this is definitely not over just yet. EL Gaming could very well come back into this one.
Yeah, they need to take down this RU251. Skell is going to miss that shot, though, on Nice, who's just playing this one very, very well, nicely, just poking the tip of his tank over the top of that hill, so he makes itself a very small target. That T49's 122mm gun, Jordan, is not very accurate at all, so it is going to be hard to hit him while he's doing that. In the meantime, though, we can see that Flag is rotating behind and might be looking to surprise Team Efficiency.
Yeah, a bit interesting, him playing so alone like that, but it has worked out. Moore is going to go down, and now we're back to a 4v4, and to be honest, I think this is going to favour EL Gaming. They have the HP advantage. The T49 is really not having all that much impact here, and isn't going to have much of an impact anymore at all, as Flag is going to be able to take down Skell. 3 versus 4 now, and Team Efficiency, they're crumbling here, and if EL Gaming have really pulled themselves back into this one, I think again off the back of that RU251 play from Nice, he has been doing so much work, and even though Flag's the one getting the kills here, Nice is being just such a pain up on that little hill. Team Efficiency had no idea how to deal with him, and there you go. EL Gaming in a 4v5 don't even lose a single tank.
There you go. That's EL Gaming for you at their best, I think, Jordan. And I mean, when Flag can get such a nice rotate like that going on, and Team Efficiency still, I think that was a mistake. You know, TE still just hanging around the rock for no particular reason. They should have pushed out. They shouldn't have let EL Gaming get that map control and kind of dictate where they engage the fight in that one.
Yeah, that's I think a very disappointing result for Team Efficiency. They're not going to be too happy with how that one turned out, because that start that they had, that was exactly what they needed. Getting 2 tanks off the field, 2 bat chats, mind you, not just like a RU251 or something like that. The 2 bat chats, obviously for EL Gaming, very high damage targets, and Team Efficiency able to get them away straight away, but even still, somehow EL Gaming able to bring that one back.
Yeah, crazy. And that was, of course, partially to do with EL Gaming's positioning, but I suppose we'll have a look and see on the replays exactly how that turned around in EL Gaming's favour. So, you know, in this position right here, look, we can see that Dexter, right, he's right up on the top of the hill, so all of Team Efficiency here, they just had the perfect line of fire
and
in
Fox
towards
TS,
Fox TS.
He drove straight into a crossfire setup
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
So JP Xerxes and Safi were both firing at him. Dexter didn't even have to do anything, and I mean, he was still available to fire a few more shots off after the fact. And I mean, there was at least an early trade back for EL Gaming, so that might have been what kept them in the game. But to be honest, here for me, Nice really just being such a pain. He was taking so much focus away from the damage threats. The Team Efficiency, they didn't have anywhere that they could really look without taking a shot from somewhere in the back or in the side.
No, exactly. You're right. And if Team Efficiency hadn't tunnel visioned onto Nice like that, then and maybe pushed out and tried to maybe catch Flag on the rotate, something like that, that would have worked out a lot better for them. But well,
Yeah, let's have a look at the post-damage stats there and see how things turned out. The RU251 there of Nice, not just being that annoying threat, he also put up a lot of damage on the damage charts there.
2.7k, that is an insane
Yep.
amount of damage from an RU251 on Cliff should never be able to deal 2.7 thousand damage.
I mean, to be fair, I think you could argue he got a bit lucky because he took 2 shots from the T49 and neither of them penetrated, but took advantage of it.
Well, exactly, and maybe that's another thing as well. We don't see team efficiency pick the T49 too often. So when they're shooting at an RU251, you really should be looking to go through that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a little bit of a factor into it. Skell just not being.
Oh, he only took 1.
Well, there you go. There you go. So Skell not quite being as much of a master on that T49 as team efficiency would have liked, which is a little bit disappointing. But
No.
I mean, EL Gaming as well, we've got to give them props. They did take out that top damage threat first, that TVP. So JP Xerxes, he was the first one to go down on team efficiency. And when the TVP is down, that is a lot of damage off the field. And it was just positioning from there on in.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, the RU251, Nice.
Yeah.
He is really looking like he's on fire at the moment. So definitely a good start here for EL Gaming, 2-0. And to be honest, that in theory is team efficiency's best map. So now the rest of the map pool, it's not looking all that great at all for them. And I think maybe we could be leaning towards that 5-0. I mean, we're going to have to see. Steps is going to be the next map coming out here. So team efficiency, they're about a 50%, sort of 50-50 on Steps. But EL Gaming, obviously, so comfortable on Steps. They have 75% win rate overall. I'm going to go 2-0 again on Steps.
2-0 again. Yeah. I think that's a pretty safe bet. And Steps isn't a map where you can just come back, against a really, really strong opponent on it. If you know how to play Steps, then it becomes so hard to win a Steps attack or a Steps defense against that team unless you try something absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I guess the one takeaway here for team efficiency is that it is one of their favored maps. They do pick it a lot and they've played it a lot, so maybe there's something in it here. But let's find out as we head into the tank picks here. 4 Steps.
Wow.
A grill coming out for EL Gaming. That's something that we do tend to see coming out from them quite a lot.
Yeah, and on the attack, I do like the grill on the attack here of Steps, and I'm not going to put on my accent today, Jordan, because I think my throat still just to be safe, but the gorilla is not going to be.
But you just did it.
Well, it was a light one, anyways. But the grill is, going to be a pretty big factor for team efficiency to deal with. Of course, they've got lots of light, fast tanks, and that's what the grill should be kind of feasting on, if you will. But here we are on Steps. Let's see, with the 2 flags, one up on the top near the railway run, down the bottom, kind of just above that little valley, and the road that runs through it. Let's find out where both of these teams roll out to. So we have got team efficiency. Interesting spread. They're getting Skell maybe up on the boost. Dexter is just spotting the centre at the moment. The rest of their team are on the other side of the rail tracks. This is a good position for team efficiency.
I think this is sort of more of aggressive sort of a hold than what we tend to see on Steps, right?
Yeah, definitely with Dexter there as well in that C5 area. It's particularly aggressive. The issue for team efficiency is that, their lineup is not the best for doing this sort of a really defensive hold with scouts, because if they spot someone, you don't really want your bat chats to empty a clip with 10% chance of hitting. The 113s, absolutely, but that's where you're going to lose out if EL Gaming spot you as well, and they get the grill onto you, because the grill, the most accurate tank in the game, 0.27 meters per 100 meters dispersion.
And a lot of alpha damage as well coming out from the grill.
A lot, 750 or so. So with that big gun, you can already see Fox TS getting a few maybe blind fire shots across towards where Skell is perched up on the boost. He's got a fair idea that Skell will be around there, and Quiet will have now as well, because Quiet has just been spotted.
He's just going to fall back a little bit here. And EL Gaming, obviously playing relatively slowly here. They do have that grill 15, so they want to play, a little bit slower, see if they can get some damage across with that before they really engage the fight. And I like the way this is going for EL. They're slowly but surely making their way up through the map, figuring out where team efficiency is holding and what they're doing.
Yep.
And now EL Gaming, you can see starting to group up and really move across the map. It does look like they might be heading in towards that 1 flag for now.
It's looking like a one flag push there from EL Gaming, and look, they definitely have the option to go for the one flag. They have got the AMX 1390, and as we know, the AMX is very low profile tank, that tier 8 French auto loader, so you can put it at the back of the one flag. Becomes very, very hard to spot from a distance, so very easy to exert cap pressure with that one. I think it's looking like Team Efficiency are not going to contest EL Gaming pushing up to the cap. Instead, they're just going to retreat back to their spawn, maybe head down towards the 2 cap, and maybe even try a rotate.
Yeah, I don't mind this either from EL Gaming. I think in that aggressive position that they were holding before, they probably would have lost out to EL, and now they've sort of fallen back, given themselves a little bit more room. But, you know, they've used up 3 minutes of that time, EL Gaming trying to figure out what they were doing, where they were holding, and obviously that's going to play into the hands here of Team Efficiency on the defensive side, but it does come down to what Team Efficiency really knows about where EL is going. And for now, if you have a look at the way they're facing with their tanks, they have absolutely no idea where EL is.
No, you're right, exactly. And that kind of scouting, that intelligence is so valuable on a map like Steps, when really that's what these guys are relying on, to know where to rotate, to know where to position their tanks. And there we are, we've got some intel. Nice has been spotted out. Dexter in this very nice position here. He will be able to duck behind that rock if any trouble pops up.
Yeah. It's such a dangerous position, though, that Dexter is holding. If he gets spotted out, or if he even gets spammed out, he can very quickly be dropped by these EL Gaming players. So needs to be careful of his positioning there as well. And considering he's in a bat chat as well, and not the RU251 there for scale or something like that, he's a bit of a bigger target as well. So, you know, wouldn't really like to see him going down here. He just needs to stay alive, of course. We've seen so many times people have been holding in that position and they've been spammed out, and it hasn't worked out too well for the defensive side, to say the least.
Definitely, but Team Efficiency, I trust Dexter to hold somewhere like that. He does have a repair kit, I'm sure, on that bat chat of his, so even if he does get tracked, he should be able to just make it inside the rock. But interestingly enough, as Black is spotted, EL Gaming making another rotate, so they don't actually want to... Oh no. Interesting to see what they're doing here. They're just getting a bit of spam happening on those trees.
Well, they're trying to figure out here where they're being spotted from. When, you know, the 1390 goes up there and gets spotted, they're trying to find out what exact bush that some of those Team Efficiency players could be in. And I think they've probably deciphered right now that there's probably not anyone in any of those bushes anymore from Team Efficiency. That was a lot of fire coming out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's a bit bold from EL Gaming. They're just completely emptying their clips when they have no idea where Team Efficiency are. I mean, like, Dexter still could have been, yeah, he could have been in that spot that they were firing, but there was no certainty to say that he was. So, kind of EL Gaming effectively disarming themselves for the next 30 or so seconds. I mean, it just shows you they feel pretty confident about what they're doing right now, though. They have put Nice on towards that flag.
He hasn't been spotted out either. So now sort of the tables turn, and Team Efficiency are now the ones that really have to make the move. And they're in a good spot for now. I mean, they haven't taken any damage just yet. They know reasonably surely where EL Gaming is for the moment. And they've got plenty of time to play with. Yeah,
I honestly like Team Efficiency's positioning right here. The issue is for them, we have got EL with 3 members down the bottom there, Quiet, Flag and Guan Ren. More those just taking a shot from Guan Ren.
Yeah, he's been spotted as well. He takes a second. So, you know, that's the danger of that position. As soon as you get spotted, you really do get punished for it. And more, he does survive, but obviously he's on half HP now, just a little bit over. So it's obviously less than ideal for him in that situation. So a bit of damage, a bit of a swing now in the HP pools as well. EL Gaming, you know, they're still just a little bit less, but in saying that, Team Efficiency have 2 heavy tanks. So it's kind of even, really.
Yep. I think that's fair enough saying that, but look at that Sun Mi. Always Bolognese has actually taken a big shot from Fox DS. I love this positioning here from the grill.
Yeah. He's got a camo net as well, so it's going to be really tough to spot out that grill 15. No one at the moment from Team Efficiency will be able to spot him out, even if he's firing. He's just so far away.
So far away, and the grill does have a pretty good camo value as a base. So this is exactly what it was designed to do, sort of long range, stealthy, sharp shooting in that one.
He's just sort of like a turret at the moment.
Yeah,
looking
pretty
backwards
much.
and forwards, and
Yep.
as soon as he spots someone out, it was just like, bam.
Oh, that was close. Bohan there in that 113. Good to see that Team Efficiency is swapping in their heavy tank player for this, but oh no. With Fox TS hit, 20 seconds left on the cap. Team Efficiency, John, they're going to have to move in soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, at the moment, they're not really moving. There's only 15 seconds left. I don't know what's going on here. Dexter, he's probably the one that's going to have to get the reset, and there you go. So maybe that was going to be an easy reset, and Team Efficiency knew it. Obviously, it works out quite well for them. Nice does go down to Dexter. So in the end, Team Efficiency, they get themselves a little bit more time to work with.
That's an 8 for 10 trade. That's not worth it for Team Efficiency.
But there's only 2 minutes left on the clock.
True. But what I think will happen now is EL Gaming, they're just going to go in.
Moore is going to go down here for sure.
Yep. I'll see you later, Moore. And taking his time to aim in. Always good to see. 445. That's a big shot from a bat chat. And the next one will finish Mr. Moore off. And right now, I think EL Gaming, they've got no choice. They've got to pull the trigger. They've got to go in towards Team Efficiency.
Skell's up on the boost here, so you know, he could probably hold off for a minute and a half up top there if he gets into some sort of, you know, little hidey hole. I'm not so sure how this one's going to work out for EL Gaming, to be honest.
He's going to go right down to the wire here, I think, as Guanren just spots one. Fox TS is going to be the one to take out Bohan. So Team Efficiency, look, there's no way they're winning an all-out brawl at this stage. That, you know, 6 KHP to 8K. EL Gaming still with all of their tier 10s on the field. But if they could just hold off for another 1 minute and 15 seconds, like you said, the issue is they're getting themselves into the cap now, Jordan.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really going to come down to Skell here, what he can do in that RU251, if it's going to even be enough. And EL Gaming, they have got onto that cap, 30 seconds now on it. So there's going to have to be at least a couple of resets coming out here for Team Efficiency if they have any hope of winning this one. And unfortunately, all those tanks on the ground have been pushed back here. Flag is going to be potentially going down. But across the board, Team Efficiency are looking just a little bit out of this one. 14 seconds left now. What can Skell do from up on that boost position? Safi will manage to take down Flag, but he should go down to Black momentarily, unless Black is on the reload.
That's a reset.
That is a reset. And Skell, he survives for now. He hasn't taken any damage. He needs to probably get another couple of resets, depending on who he shoots. If he can hit those targets that have been capping for quite a while.
Oh, no, look at this. Look at this.
Let's have a look and see what he can do here. Now, I'm going to peek in, and no, none of those shots hit from EL Gaming. He's got another shot here if he can try and get another reset.
He needs to hit this.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, even if he gets that reset. Like, there's so many tanks on that cap. In the end, EL Gaming, just power of numbers. Even though there's 3 players from Team Efficiency still alive, all those tanks on the cap, it's just too much to deal with.
There you go. Well, EL Gaming, just too strong for Team Efficiency in that one, and it was looking like Team Efficiency could have, you know, maybe taken it out with a time win, something like that. But at the end of the day, EL just overpowering them.
Yeah, definitely. And well, to be honest, Team Efficiency, they're a little bit more comfortable on the defensive side of steps there as well. So I'm not so sure how they're going to do heading over onto the second half here, where they move over to attack. So I think EL Gaming, like I said, I sort of predicted it's going to be a 2-0 from the get-go, but I'm still, you know, I'm reinforced in that opinion now after seeing that first half.
Yeah, look, again, it's crazy to think that EL Gaming can turn a map so far away, so far around, I suppose, when they were looking, you know, so strong leading in, when Team Efficiency were looking so strong leading into the first half of steps there. You know, they got EL Gaming down, they poked them down, they prevented EL Gaming from getting some good rotates on towards that one flag, and you know, they had all of their tanks in a great position to defend it from, but just like that, EL can snap their fingers and turn it around.
All right, well, let's go ahead and have a look at the replays of steps. It's not going to be a pretty sight, really, for EL Gaming, for Team Efficiency, rather.
Hold off for another 1 minute. No, not a pretty sight at all. And look, we can see here, like, look how hard it is for Safi just to get the shot onto Flag. So much mechanical skill there. He finally gets it, but you know, Flag almost even got away from that one. But you know, we do see the reset coming in, and I don't think Skell had time for a reload on this last one. That's why he wasn't able to get it. But look at that. Yeah. So close.
He would have had to hit Quiet or Sunme there.
Yep.
And just didn't manage to connect it. I think the shot, like, he did get a shot off, I'm pretty sure, just there. You saw the puff of dust in front of those 2 bat chats, but he obviously didn't have time to aim in properly, and unfortunately the shot went awry. And even if he had have hit that one, I don't know if he would have been able to get the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's always tricky, of course, when you're, you know, so far away. An RU-251, look, in terms of Tier 8 light tanks, it does have a gun that is fairly accurate.
Yeah.
It's not a bad gun at all. You know, it's kind of like the baby Leopard is one way to think of it. But even still, with that 90mm gun, you're going to have some troubles hitting from that distance. So that's obviously what happened there to Team Efficiency. But, I mean, they've still got the attack on steps, and I feel as though Team Efficiency aren't too bad on the attack on steps.
No, they're not awful. They're definitely not awful. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the battle stats for that last one. Fox TS in that Grill 15 having a pretty decent performance, but Black, he's the one to look at really. Well, Black and Guanren, to be fair, did quite a lot of damage in those bat chats.
Yeah, Guan ran there with 3.3k damage. I mean, he's normally up the top of the scoreboard there for EL Gaming, but again, just solidifying his spot. And it is good to see that that Grill pick there for EL worked out quite well. 15 shots fired, just about 2k damage, and he was a big pest there for Team Efficiency, getting some of those, you know, big early shots from that little turret position that we saw Fox TS in that kind of let EL even out the damage a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And if we move over to the second half of the scoreboard, I'm sure that, well, we're not going to be seeing much, really, of surprise. The RU-251 getting a bit of damage across there is probably expected, considering he was up on the boost. And nice, he didn't really have much of a part to play in that battle. Just trying to get on that cap, did get taken down pretty easily by Efficiency, but I mean, he's not going to be too bothered by that. He had 2 very good performances on Cliff, and EL are currently 3-0 up, so can't complain at all.
Can't complain at all, Jordan. So there we go. EL Gaming going to be heading into the second half of Cliff 1-0 up, and I think, well, if Team Efficiency can't win this one, then there's no way that they're going to be able to come back there on Himmelsdorf, which is our next map, I don't think, because EL Gaming always so strong on Himmels that I just can't see a way that they can claw their way back into this. And look, I will give a shout out to EL Gaming here. They're locked in for the finals, right? Their spot is decided. So to see them really, you know, taking every single match and you know, trying to make it a perfect match right up until the end is great to see.
We definitely, you know, it does come across in their play and how they carry themselves throughout the competition here. EL Gaming coming into the second half here of Steps. Going to be picking up an M4043.
Ooh, I love that pick there from EL Gaming. Going to be going with that American Tier 8 SPG. And, I mean, it's my favourite Tier 8, Artie. I like it a lot more than the Lorraine just because of its pure damage potential in that one. You know, if that hits one of those bat chats or even the RU-251, if it hits that, then see you later, RU-251.
It's good of you to mention the Lorraine because that tends to be the artillery of choice for EL.
Yeah.
Fox TS likes that tank, and this time for some reason he's decided to go for the M4043. And, you know, when we have seen EL play Steps and they have taken an artillery, every time it's been the Lorraine.
Yeah, so potentially this could be EL trying to mix it up a bit and, you know, picking a new tank in what I suppose you'd call a production environment, a real environment, where...
Tournament environment.
Tournament environment, exactly, where Team Efficiency are going to be trying to win it.
That was very close to Skell as well.
That was super close. And I don't know if Skell was even spotted there.
No, I don't know.
And already, look at that. So EL, it's like they can sniff out Team Efficiency. You know, they see the little, I think it's a red panda, and just fire towards it.
He's had to use his repair kit very early on in the piece here.
Ooh, almost runs into Skell, but an early repair kit, that is always a positive. So EL Gaming starting it off with a bang. Fox TS there on that artillery piece, just sitting right back near the spawn. I mean, he doesn't really need to go much closer than that. I mean, honestly, if Moore hadn't have used his repair kit right there, then he would have been dead because Fox TS would have just put a shell into him.
Yeah, absolutely. For now, Fox TS hasn't had all that much of an impact, but you have to feel like it's going to happen. He's a very good artillery player. Yep,
definitely. And even though we don't see artillery as a whole too often here in APAC, I mean, every now and then, definitely, but it is good to see, again, one of those artilleries that's less picked than something like the Lorraine. But right now, we are going to be seeing Team Efficiency rotating towards that 2 flag, so it's looking to be a 2 flag push. Interesting that they've left Moore all the way back to kind of guard for delayed rotates from EL Gaming. So Moore is probably going to be the one that spots out Guan Ren once he comes down here. Although with EL Gaming moving up and getting spotted near that 2 flag, I think we're going to see a bit of a 2 flag kind of long range brawl here.
Yeah, I think Team Efficiency really trying to force the issue here. They don't want to be waiting around and letting Fox TS get a lot of free shots off. So they've decided to push into that 2 flag pretty early on in the piece, to be honest. I mean, not even 3 minutes has gone by, and Efficiency already making their move. So they're trying to force a fight here in an actual brawl, as opposed to those those sort of snipe wars, the peek and poke battles that we do see a lot here on Steps.
Yeah, exactly. So sitting Skell in that flag there, the RU251, particularly while it's moving, it is going to be fairly easy to spot. So Skell just cuts his losses there, but that's actually going to probably cost him a little bit more than if it just stayed on the flag.
Absolutely, it's going to cost him. He will be going down straight away here. And Team Efficiency now, their scout is gone, so the tier 8. Not the worst scenario, but definitely it's always good to have a tier 8 up your sleeve on the attacking side. You can put him on the cap and, bait a little bit with that. But that option really now is gone for Team Efficiency. They have to commit a tier 10 to the flag if they decide to go that route.
Yeah. So obviously not a great result there from Team Efficiency. Look, if you're T right now, I think you'd be looking just to go for a hard push in towards EL Gaming, where the M40 is not going to be a factor, where you can, primary out those bat chats of EL nice and quick. I think that's what you'd want, but EL Gaming not going to be making it easy, because they've got eyes all around that 1 cap with Sunmi and Fox. Yes, he's actually almost in a position to spot. He will fire 1 shot. It's going to miss Bohan.
Yep.
EL actually doing a kind of rotate again. This is interesting. So, and the artillery piece as well. So it means they're committed to it. Maybe, I'm not sure where they're heading. Are they going to do like an around the world down towards that J line and then come up the maybe 2 or 3 lines there?
I mean, I would say maybe a few of them will, yes. I don't think all of the EL Gaming players are going to do that, but certainly some of the bat chats. We can start to see them for now making their way down towards the southern end of the map. Moore and Safi are going to be the ones tasked with holding off those rotates coming out from EL Gaming, and I think Fox TS, he's going to be the man to get the reset here, really. For now, at least. If EL Gaming desperately need one, then of course they're going to send someone in, but we'll see what Fox TS can do. Hopefully maybe someone from EL can get a spot onto this cap and make his life a little bit easier.
Yeah, if they can get a spot onto the cap, then that's going to be so easy for Fox TS to get that shot down on towards that essentially stationary bat chat there. But with 70 seconds left on the cap, good bit of pressure is being put onto Team Efficiency, starting to build up as Black there in his bat chat has also been spotted. We're seeing Bohan actually cross the field, so a little bit bold there. Does take a shot for his troubles, but Sunmi not going to be winning that poke war.
We've just seen the second tank go onto the cap here from Team Efficiency, so now Guanren really has to make his move to get the reset, and he is going to move forward. I think Team Efficiency actually opted to fall off the flag there, but they've achieved exactly what they needed to. Guanren goes very low down to 159 HP, and he's going to go down in the end as well there to Safi. So a trade back in after all that time, Team Efficiency, they do manage to get the 1-for-1, and it's a favourable trade considering they get a tier 10 for a tier 8. Although in saying that, now things are starting to, the pressure is really starting to mount on Team Efficiency. They don't have control of that southern end of the map, so there's an easy rotate from EL if they want to go through that part of the map. And there's only 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock here, so Efficiency are going to have to make a move very shortly, otherwise they will run out of time.
Yeah, definitely. So EL Gaming there already, well, making a bit of a move with Nice and Black heading kind of back from the looks of things, and they don't want to fight with JP Xerxes Moore and Safi right there. So I think that's a good move from EL, but in the meantime, Dexter's got himself right back on towards that cap on the 1 flag as well, and I really like what Team Efficiency are doing here. They're pressuring all these different angles of EL Gaming. So EL, they have to deal with the tanks down the bottom, they have to deal with the cap, they have to deal with Bohan, they have to deal with Bolognese, they have to keep all that in mind when they're trying to make this defense happen. So
the easy reset in the end there for Sunmi, who gets one straight into the side of Dexter, and again, that really resets any sort of pressure that EL was feeling and mounts upon the pressure that Team Efficiency has already got on their shoulders with that timer ticking down. So 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock here, and EL Gaming just doing such a great job. Again, another reset comes out. Dexter's tracks get broken, and even though he doesn't take damage, that does, of course, reset the flag if your module gets taken out. So now Team Efficiency, they really have to make something happen, because EL Gaming, it's quite clear they're not really needing to try and run into that one flag to get the resets. They're quite content just to sit back here and let that timer wait down. Yeah,
and with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on it, Team Efficiency now, they've got to start feeling a bit of pressure to make this cap happen, as we do see Dexter get himself off it again, potentially. So maybe a little bit of indecision coming out of Team Efficiency there.
Well, he got reset again, and then he dropped off. Now he knows he's only on 21 HP, so he can't afford to take another shot.
Oh, big shot from the artillery on towards Bohan. There's 704 damage. Huge shots from Fox TS, and it's looking like Team Efficiency, they're going to be trying to kind of pull the trigger right here, but Bohan and Bolognese, they're going in solo.
Well, there's 3 tanks on the flag now. Yeah, they are. But there's 3 tanks on the flag here now for Team Efficiency. This is sort of a last-ditch effort. If Black can get a reset here or two, then definitely this game is going to be swinging the way of EL for sure. Efficiency, it looks like Black should be able to get the reset, but doesn't actually manage to connect it onto JP Xerxes, or it doesn't pen, but someone else has got a reset. Black's also been able to get a shot in there, and now Team Efficiency, you have to say they're going to be struggling in this one to keep this timer ticking down. It's actually going up rather than down for now, and that's definitely not what Team Efficiency would have wanted. They have to take Black down here if they want to fight this one out, but even if they do that, you have to think EL Gaming, one of their tanks is going to be able to survive this fight, and it's probably going to be Fox TS, even if they need that, which they don't. Team Efficiency, 2 versus 4, they won't win this fight.
This is not going to work out, so EL Gaming taking this one out on steps again. I don't know, Team Efficiency, Look, they made some really good moves early on in the piece here, you know, put some good pressure on towards EL Gaming, but I think EL there, they just dealt with all of it so well. They dealt with the rotations coming out of Team Efficiency, so when Team Efficiency, you know, sent a few tanks down to the bottom and expected no one to be there. Oh, no.
I reckon Dexter did that intentionally.
I reckon he did, yeah. There you go. So, with more going down, that will be EL Gaming going 4-0 up against Team Efficiency there.
Yep.
And, well, it's looking like the 5-0 prediction.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I said 5-1, but I think at this point that probably was just a little bit of wishful thinking, to be fair. The way that EL have gone about this, they haven't looked like losing a single round. And EL Gaming going on to Himmelsdorf, I just don't see them losing that round at all. Yeah,
going to be very, very tricky for them. But again, just looking back there on towards steps, I think that that play from EL Gaming really is why they're the best on steps. They know every single kind of strategy that the opponent is going to be trying to do, and they kind of predict it before they do it. So when Team Efficiency, you know, we're heading back around to rotate back on towards the 2-cap, EL Gaming, they were prepared for it. They were ready. So great play there by EL.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and have a look at the replays there of the second half of steps, which went the way of EL Gaming. Skell getting picked up early here. That wasn't a great start for Efficiency.
I don't, honestly, I would have much preferred Skell to stay on the flag there. You know, like, there's no real reason that he had to rotate off. There's always going to be a big danger him rotating off, and just like that, Team Efficiency gave a free tier 8 kill on towards EL Gaming that they didn't need to. So, you know, there is cover on the front edge of the flag. It does mean that EL Gaming have to actually push up to try and get him down, but Dexter there. Oh, good stuff. Dexter and Nice, having a bit of fun at the end.
All right, well, important to have a look at the post-game stats here before we go into Himmelsdorf. So let's see how that one turned out. Bolognese, he got a bit of damage across there. He was actually putting Sunmi under a bit of pressure early on in the piece, but, I mean, to be fair, it just wasn't enough for Team Efficiency.
Yep. No, exactly. And, well, Mr. Sunmi there in the 113, of course, that Chinese Tier 10 heavy tank with 3.7 thousand damage. That is pretty impressive for a 113 on steps. I think, particularly when most of your team still survives at the end of it. Of course, Guan Ren was not that lucky, but Skell there in the RU251 dealing 0 damage. But Fox TS there, that artillery piece that EL Gaming picked, good to see. You know, definitely had an impact.
He got that one big shot. I think it was onto Bohan.
Yeah, 700
or
damage.
So.
Yep. So, you know, definitely had an impact. Would have been nice, of course, if EL Gaming were able to get a few more spots earlier on, so he could have had more of an impact.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, sometimes that's just how it rolls. Team Efficiency playing a little bit too far back to be able to get spotted out early.
Right, so Himmelsdorf, you've said 5-0. You going to stick to it?
I'm going to stick to 5-0.
Yep.
I know team efficiency on Himmelsdorf. I know EL Gaming on Himmelsdorf, and whenever EL Gaming play Himmelsdorf, they just look like like a turtle with no way through the shell.
Yeah.
I suppose there's no weaknesses of EL Gaming on Himmelsdorf. It is by its nature a fairly simple map to play.
Right.
You don't have as many rotation opportunities. You look down streets essentially on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah.
So when EL play it, they play it to perfection.
Oh, well, let's find out how they're going to play here on Himmelsdorf as we're going to get underway very shortly. First, though, the tank pick's going to come out here and a lot of AMX 50Bs. 4005 for efficiency.
I do like that. I really do like that pick. The FV4005, of course, that tier 10 British tank destroyer that they're going to be picking up there. And against EL Gaming's lineup, honestly, it's going to work really well because EL Gaming, they've got 3 AMX 50Bs, fairly lightly armoured for a heavy tank. The Bat Chat as well, paper, AMX 1390, paper. Even the 113s, the FE4005 will be able to go through maybe the side or the back of those as well.
Potential here for team efficiency with that 4005, but to be fair, I don't think they have necessarily used it as well as some of the other teams have on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, no, you're right. So it will be interesting to see whether, I think it's potentially going to be more playing that one.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's take a look. So it will be actually
more.
more playing that FF4005. And again, I'm a bit more of a 183 fan for Himmels just because it's a little bit less of a barn.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you get the same gun. So, and already I like where Moore is positioned. He is ready.
He's very far forward, actually.
He's ready to get EL on the cross here. This is exactly where he needs to be. But
He needs to be careful he doesn't get spotted out, though.
well, he does. But he also, like, the reason you sit here is to get people on the cross from onto the banana line. Already team efficiency pushing up the banana line.
Bohan and Bolognese, they really want to take that fight to sudden me for some reason. Team efficiency playing super aggressive here on this defensive side. This is not what we usually see from them, and I think they're just trying to rattle EL Gaming a bit because we do often see EL just push straight down that banana line. Team efficiency are going to be aware of that, and now they're really trying to fight for control of this banana. So they're changing up the game a little bit from what we would expect to generally see. And it hasn't worked out so well for them, but at least they've stalled EL Gaming a little bit.
So team efficiency right now, I was just thinking whether they were trying to actually bait out the EL Gaming guys to rush down the banana so that Moore could get a kind of flanking shot in towards them, but at the moment it's not really looking like EL Gaming are taking the bait. They are rotating though, and oh no, look at this. Guan Ren coming up behind.
And Black. I mean, to be fair, he's only in the 1390, but that can still do a bit of damage from behind. And he is pumping shells right into the back of, I think it's Bolognese for the moment. JP Xerxes takes a shot as well, and this has been great from EL Gaming. They get that rotation around behind, and now they're really starting to put efficiency under
there
pressure.
we go.
The 4005, though, will be able to take down Nice. That's a big kill for team efficiency.
Massive kill there from the 4005, and I was just wondering where Moore was, where he got the rotate happening, but taking out Nice with one shot, that's exactly what he needs to be doing. But at the moment, EL Gaming looking very strong, 7,500 HP, 3,000 more than team efficiency.
Moore should get another reload off here before he goes down at the very least. So maybe there's still something in it here for efficiency. If he can one-shot someone else, take out Quiet or Fox TS probably, ideally. But definitely it's going to be an uphill battle from here on out.
Yeah, Moore there. I mean, he's probably looking at them, but honestly, if they're angling kind of well enough, even in those AMX 50Bs, it's definitely not a guaranteed shot.
No,
from
100%.
the FE4005. So let's see, JP Xerxes looking up the B line there as well. But Sunmi's actually pushing out towards Moore, and Moore's going to be rotating back from the looks of things. So
not a great situation at all here now for team efficiency. Safi with the Bat Chat has got a decent amount of HP to play with, and I mean, so does Moore. But to be fair, it's going to be going probably the other way very shortly. Safi now does not really have that much HP to play with, and he's under pressure from multiple tanks. Now, just the 4005 of Moore alive here in this battle.
And I think he just fired at Fox CS. Yep, he did, and now he's reloading. So that is not going to work at all, of course. The 4005 is not going to ricochet a single shell from either of these tanks. It's not going to have been reloaded either, so we will see team efficiency going down.
5-0 to EL Gaming. Once again, we see a scoreline that is obviously very reflective of their
Very
position.
EL-like.
Yeah, their position on the standing. So, unfortunately for my prediction, team efficiency not able to grab one round this time. They did do it last time against EL, but this time EL's gone one better.
Yep, there we go, and I think you can just see EL are in real serious mode here before the finals,
Yep.
leading up to the finals, I should say. They are not making a single mistake. They're playing absolutely to perfection, so no surprises there.
All right, well, let's have a look at the replays there on Himmelsdorf. It was, of course, the map that EL took the victory on.
Yeah, there we go. So we can see Dexter there in that AMX 50B. He's getting taken out. So by this stage, I mean, team efficiency, they'd lost three tanks, and there was no reason for them to have let those two rotators coming in from the hill. I mean, that was always going to happen. It's EL Gaming. So when they do that, it's just like, well, I mean, honestly, I think I've actually seen team efficiency make that same mistake at least once before. Just completely forgetting about the hill, letting EL Gaming rotate, come in from behind, and essentially just get free shots, empty free clips into the back of them.
There's definitely no way that you can let EL Gaming get around behind you and still expect to win. So if we look at the battle stats, it's probably not going to be surprising to anyone to see some EL Gaming members up the top there. The 113 of what Sun made, that's quite a respectable amount of damage, especially considering he had 3 AMX 50Bs on his team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is actually a massive amount of damage. I think Sunmi was at the front and did kind of conduct that early sort of poke war, against team efficiency when they were all down in the banana. And I suppose he never got taken out either. So that just helped him stay on top. And more in the EFE 4005, top damage dealer for team efficiency. So you can't complain about that pick. I still would have liked to have seen him get maybe one shot there.
Yeah, definitely. The 113's there for efficiency across the board, really not having the best of times, only getting, well, 1 shot worth of damage in, but I think they might have been shooting HE at most points of that battle.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Like, shooting HE, yeah, you're going to deal damage, but if you saw the amount of damage they were, putting into the 113's turret, of,
like
I think
200.
it was some me. It was less. It was like 30, 30,
Was it?
50, 70.
Oh.
I think maybe one was 200 or something like that, but it wasn't a lot, you know. So at that stage, and then as soon as they poke out and they know that they're going up against 2 113s that are loaded with HE, then they poke out, show their front, and they know
they're going to win the trade.
50 damage, because that's what HE does.
Yeah.
So a bit disappointing.
Oh well, disappointing there for team of efficiency in general. 5-0 was the result of against EL Gaming, but we do have 3 more games coming up just after this quick break. It's going to be Meltdown and B Gaming. Stay tuned, we'll be back in about 10 minutes.